What's up, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I want to break down what's happening with SPY, Tsla, Nvidia, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers, and break down what's happening with the market moving forward as we have a big catalyst coming out, not to mention what the charts are suggesting. But just note that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice, and don't forget to smash the like button. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire community as a whole. Anyways, so far we're seeing a lot of stocks that are just range bound, especially when it comes to SPY and the QQQ. But the question is, what are some levels to watch for and what's going to affect us? So, as a reminder, for today, there's not really much data coming out. Today is Wednesday, August 28th, 2024. So far for today, we have some crude data coming out at 10:30 a.m., but it's all very, very minor. We also have some bill auctions and note auctions at 11:30 and 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we'll see what this leads to. It's all very, very minor. It might not cause much, in my personal opinion. And the reason for that is because all eyes are on Nvidia. Nvidia is going to make a big move today after the market closes. We'll see if we get a big rug pull or if we get a big rally. So we'll just have to wait and see. That's going to be the next big catalyst for the markets. And then when it comes to headlines, I'm just seeing, Nvidia making up all the headlines right now. Everyone's just waiting for this. And it looks like the market's just waiting to see what they end up telling us about their assets, what's going on with Nvidia's growth projections, their guidance and such. So that's going to be very important for the company moving forward. So that being said, let's talk about the charts. For SPY, we have 562 as resistance and also at 563. Historically, we are getting rejected off this 562 to 563 area. We have support at 558 and also at 555. Every time a SPY is hitting 555, we're getting bought back up. And every time we're hitting 563, kind of get rejected. So I presume we're going to stay in this range for now. But from a technical standpoint, for the last couple of days, we technically have been making higher lows. So I mean, we hit 555 on Thursday of last week. We came up, made a higher low, came up, made a higher low, and we're continuing to do so. This is a good sign for the bulls. So this chart is suggesting we might see a little bit of a push attempt for today for 562 in the morning. We may even try to break that to get closer to 563. So I see some upside potential in this chart, and we'll see what kind of reaction we get. I think it may attempt to do a little bit of an upside move, then we might see some consolidation. That's looking a little bit more favorable to me. But just for confirmation, make sure you look at that 560 area. If we do lose that, we will turn back down. So we'll just have to wait and see just to be safe. But I just want to say that right now, it looks like we're going to try to push a little higher towards 562, and we'll see if we reject or non-consolidate. My prediction is we kind of push a bit, then consolidate, and we'll see what the reaction happens to be. For Nvidia, we're attempting to push a little bit higher. We might consolidate as well. We may get very close to about 130. We're just a little bit below that, and then we might just continue to consolidate. As you guys can see, we have this range. Every time we hit 130, we reject. Every time we hit 123, we kind of get bought back up. So we're still stuck in the middle, but we have a very, very nice looking structure right here, forming a nice accumulation. So far, it looks like we may push just a little bit higher, then come back down and consolidate. That's the most likely possibility for now. Nvidia's earnings is going to be the next big catalyst, so we'll have to see how this ends up going. For Bitcoin, we pushed up to about the 60,000 area. We'll see if we break that to go to 60,500. But either way, I do see us dipping a little bit, whether it's off 60,000 or 60,500. And then we may just consolidate as well on Bitcoin. For ES, we're looking at support at 56,037. If we lose that, we're going to be looking for basically 56,025. And we have resistance at 56.55 from there. So I think we're going to be likely attempting to push up for 56.50. Then we might see some consolidation. We might not do anything else after that. So watch for that very carefully. As far as Tesla goes, we're showing some weakness as we're making lower highs. We had 228, 225, and then 222 as our highs. So we're making lower highs. And then we're going to be looking at basically 208 as supports. If we don't hold above that, we're going to be dipping all the way down to about 205, then potentially 202. We have resistance at 210. When we open, this may pop a little bit, and we'll see if this ends up projecting or not. If we lose 208, there's going to be a risk of us dipping lower. So watch to see if we get a little bounce upon opening, see if we get a rejection. If we lose 208, there's going to be a dip coming. So watch for that very carefully on Tesla. Still, it's showing some weakness. For NQ, we're stuck in this range so far. We have this 19,700 resistance. If we break that, we're going to be looking for a push. And if we lose 19,600, we're going to be looking for a dip. We're stuck in the middle, so we'll see which way we break. You have to be very patient with this as we are in a range. For the QQQ, it's the same thing. Essentially, we got to break past this resistance. This yellow trend line is acting as resistance, so this is going to be at this 477 area. If we reject here, we're going to be looking for a dip down to 473. If we break this, we're going to be looking for 480. We're kind of stuck in the middle. This is looking like we have some tough resistance, so we'll see what kind of reaction we get on the QQQ. There might be a dip coming, so just be careful, guys. So watch 475 as our key support. If we lose that, we favor bears a little bit more. If we hold above 475, we could try to bounce. So watch that as your key level. But for now, that's going to be our pivot point. There might be a little dip coming. Apple hits 228. We'll see if we break through this or not. If we don't break through this, we could be dipping back down to 226. Otherwise, we're just range bound. So give this the time it needs. For Supermicro, we're dipping right now. We look more bearish. We did call this out in my video from yesterday. We could be looking for a big dump back down towards 480, and we'll see if we bounce on Nvidia's earnings or not. That's going to be key for us. For the IWM, we're going to be looking for a dip for the 216 to 217 zone. If we lose that, there's going to be a bigger dip to 215. If we hold that, we could try to bounce to look for a little bit more downside, and we'll see what kind of reaction we get. For Coinbase, we did attempt to rebound and we came just short of 197. We could be retesting 192, so be careful. And the structure looks a little bit more bearish, so just be very careful at that for now. For Amazon, we're looking a little bit weaker. We're going to be looking at resistance around 175 and our supports down here at 172. If we lose that, we could be dipping down towards 170. We look a little bit more bearish as well. Meta has a double top-like structure. If we don't break above 510, we're going to be looking for a dip for 515 and eventually 512. So I'm seeing some weakness building on Meta. Microsoft is just consolidating for now. We need to break past 417 to turn back up. Otherwise, we could be dipping lower, back down to 410. So just be careful. And then Google also has potential downside coming to about 165. So we'll be watching to see if that holds. If it doesn't hold, we look for a bigger dip to 163. Otherwise, there might be a little downside coming than consolidation. So that being said, guys, the market is just consolidating. SPY's had some tough resistance, so is the QQQ. We'll be watching to see what the real reaction is. Even if the market does dip, whether it pumps or dumps, it doesn't matter for now. I'm talking about right now. It doesn't matter. What matters more is going to be Nvidia's earnings. So whatever Nvidia announces is going to have a big effect on us, and that's going to be the next catalyst after the market closes. So that being said, get ready for Nvidia's earnings. I just want to say I really appreciate you guys so much for listening. One more thing worth mentioning is that I forgot to talk about this. The VIX is in a very, very critical place. It's continuing to dip even with the market, and we'll be watching to see if we get a bounce on the VIX. We still have this gap to fill above. So we will see what the VIX is about to do. Are we about to be looking for a reversal structure or not? I'll be very patient on this as well. So Nvidia is going to affect this too. So with that being said, don't turn too bullish or too bearish. I would recommend that. I would say to just watch your levels, watch your ranges, and we'll see how things go from there. All right. So we'll see how things go. Make sure you're very, very patient nonetheless. And finally, don't forget about Nvidia's earnings. That's going to be very, very key for how we end up moving, at least in the future. All right. So have a great day, guys. I'll see you guys in a couple of hours for another update. Until then, take care. Be very patient with the charts, and I'll see you guys very soon. Thank you and peace out.